Hello guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm actually out here trying to do a little bit of the springtime cleaning in front of the house here, and fortunately, my flag looks like it's been through a few wars here, blowing against the bushes here. I'm debating on if I should get a new one or not, or if I should make it look like one of those historic flags, you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of people, a lot of Cowboy fans that are a little upset. They're a little upset that we did not draft a safety. And I'll go back to last year where we didn't draft a wide receiver when we knew we needed one because we got rid of Dez Bryant and Jason Witten ended up retiring. We had a big need for wide receiver, and it almost came back to bite us in the ass. But what I will say this is I'm excited as can be because I believe Kris Richard should be a head coach in the NFL. Kris Richard, the architect of the Legion of Boom. And now I'm going to call it the Legion of Doom. Like as in Doomsday and Boom, kind of converting the two together. You can see in this draft that Kris Richard is beginning to have an influence on the defense. You know, he's the defensive coordinator, and the great thing about our front office, as opposed to, say, the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins signed Landon Collins, and the coach found out when the media let him know. Let me say that again. The coach found out that the Redskins were signing Landon Collins after they signed him by the media. They didn't consult him at all. And you can understand that, like Bill Parcells said, if I'm gonna do the cooking, let me buy the groceries, because I have an idea and a concept of what I want to do, and I need to find people that are going to fit what I'm doing. So we heard the Cowboys were high on Ron Thornhill, that was a guy that they really, really liked, and he was right there for them. Now here's where it gets interesting. Supposedly, it was Kris Richard who said, no, I would rather go ahead and take the D tackle. It was Kris Richard who ended up wanting to not draft Juan Thornhill. And see, you have coaches out there like Rod Marnelli. Rod Marnelli has taken guys that nobody thought were much. David Irving, George Selvey, Antoine Woods. Guys that couldn't get on the field or even off practice squads, and have turned those guys into really, really productive players. That's where you end up taking a guy and teaching them the subtleties, the intricacies, the things that they don't always get from other places, and makes them better, gets the most out of them. And when you look and think about the Legion of Doom, only Earl Thomas was a first-round draft pick. Cam Chancellor was a fifth-rounder. Think about that. Those were late-round draft picks that he fit what he likes to do. Now, understand, I believe he believes in George Iloka a whole lot more, and it's always so funny because I hear the 80% of Cowboy fans that are always doom and gloom. This guy's a stiff. This guy sucks. You know, Tampa Bay once said that about Steve Young. Tampa Bay had Steve Young. Think about that for a second. And they gave up on him. If you were given up by Tampa, and I'm not talking about Tampa Bay that won the Super Bowl. I'm talking about Tampa Bay that was the creamsicle orange Tampa Bay. They gave up on him and let him go. He went to San Francisco, now he's in the Hall of Fame. The Raiders gave up on Amari Cooper. But he came to Dallas, and look what he was able to do. So a change of scenery, and I'm not going to say that, you know, you look around at Cincinnati, it's not like they are New England as far as what they do with developing players and they go on and have careers elsewhere. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. But Kris Richard has a image of a player that they like, size-wise, length, height, all of these things. And it's Kris who's putting all this stuff together. So make no mistake about this. Everything we did was by design, and Kris is getting a lot of power in with the Dallas Cowboys. And what I say about that actually may bode well for him being here for a longer term, because he could have been a head coach elsewhere. And we are truly blessed that we have that guy who has a track record of being really, really good. And as much as we hear that Jerry Jones is the be-all, end-all and is the one making choices, what you're actually seeing with the Dallas Cowboys is Will McClay is getting the talent. And Will McClay, he even said so in the pre-draft press conference, that we're working with the coaches, and he said things have changed in what we look at as far as players. Say that one more time again. Because I'm talking and working with the coaches, it's changing what we're doing as far as player acquisition. They're looking for different types of people. So I'm going to trust the process and forget about the draft grades, because here's the thing. Think about this for a second. The draft grade is graded by how they evaluated the draftees. So you could look at San Diego back in the day and said, oh my God, San Diego's got a great grade because they got their franchise quarterback in Ryan Leaf. They get an A. But then he ends up being a stiff. You say that the Dallas Cowboys, they failed because they were going to move up and get their quarterback, Paxton Lynch, and they failed. Denver, they get a great grade because they got Paxton Lynch. And the Cowboys, well, they settle for Dak Prescott. The reality is, it's a guess. That's it. And don't get bent out of shape, because last year, I want you to think about this from last year. Remember when last year, after the Giants got Barkley, they were saying, oh my God, the Giants had a great draft. They got Barkley, teaming him up with Odell Beckham, coming back healthy with 2-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning. Watch out for the Giants. The Giants are going to be great. Remember last year? They said the Washington Redskins, great draft. Oh my God. They took care of the defensive line, got some offensive linemen, got themselves a quarterback with Alex Smith. They're a great team. Could be trouble in the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys, they needed a wide receiver, and they got a linebacker who's not going to help them at all because they've got a Pro Bowler in Sean Lee there. The best offensive line in football grabbed another offensive lineman? What? Why'd they waste that pick on Connor Williams? Yeah. In retrospect, those guys played over 3,600 snaps last year. So stop. Please stop with all of this. The Cowboys don't know what they're doing. This team is about as talented and as deep as it has been since the 90s. Straight up. Straight the hell up. Across the board. There's always places that you're going to say, you know what, I want somebody else. But not only do we have great frontline players in most of the positions, now we have backups. The offensive line, we can take a hit here and there. Defensive line, we can take a hit here and there. Linebackers, that might be one of the thinnest places. You can take a hit and still have a Sean Lee. Secondary, never have too many players there. Wide receiver, right there. Only thing you don't really have depth in is quarterback. And let's hope that Dak Prescott stays upright. So, feel good about where we are right now. And it looks like we're going to get some rain, so I won't be able to power wash the deck. All right, guys, let me get this stuff put away before the rain comes through. As always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you, this doesn't work.